Previously on Starting Over, Sommer shared the painful story that led her to get gastric bypass surgery.
My grandmother passed away last October, and she was 450. I mean, I didn't know that I would ever necessarily get there, but I didn't want to risk it. Nothing worked. I tried Atkins for a while, and then I tried Weight Watchers. I was to the point where I was like, if I die having this, it's worth it. How much does the gastric bypass cost? A little over $25,000.
Towanda stood up to Iyanla because she didn't trust her life coach.
You can be really harsh and mean. That's why it's so hard for me to trust the whole process.
And Iyanla gave Towanda an ultimatum.
There's no reason for you not to trust me. We got to get this foundation solid. Otherwise, I don't want you wasting your time.
Meanwhile, Kim's daughters arrived for a visit.
Oh my God.
But their fun quickly ended when Sommer made a serious accusation.
I just opened up the cabinet to see if your makeup bag was in there, and it was. It was in your bag.
Kim's day got worse when Iyanla confronted Kim about the amount of jewelry she was wearing, which Iyanla believed broke their agreement.
This is not a little bit of makeup and a wedding ring.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
This is the ring.
No, that's not it.
And Kim felt like she was losing control.
I just feel like I'm hopeless. Like nobody's ever gonna understand me.
You know what? Kim has not laughed or smiled once since her daughters have come.
That's because she's pissed off at the world. And I'm not gonna worry about it.
Huh?
I'm not gonna worry about it. There's a lot of tension in the house with Kim having her daughters here. And it's really uncomfortable.
You're pretty, Josie. You're so pretty. Oh, I don't feel like it. Yeah, join the club. At least you can wear makeup. Mom, we're working on grudges. You need to get over it. I'm working on it. But you know what? I guess I'm just too naive because I never thought they would bring you guys into, like, the whole thing. You know, I thought that you guys were just going to come and visit. I didn't think they'd have you see the shrink and then see Iyanla and then... I didn't. I might have to clarify that.
Hey, Chloe. You happy to see me? Yes. Hello, Miss Kim. Kim, what your back doing to me?
Just sitting on the pillow.
Sitting on the pillow? Sitting over there all by yourself?
Yeah, I guess.
You want to be by yourself?
No, I didn't think I was.
What's going on over there, hon?
Nothing.
Well, it's kind of because you're looking away, and I know usually you're very good at participating in group with me.
Oh, my kids are getting ready to leave, so that's all. I'm just distracted.
Well, how's it been with them?
Harsh.
Harsh?
I did not realize that they would be participating in this. And the process has been harsh on all of us.
I see. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with them being part of the
Nothing.
process? Have your kids gained anything? Have
Yes.
they learned anything
Yes,
about you?
I think so.
What have they gained?
I think they've seen me vulnerable, which they haven't before. They know all about me, but I haven't gone into depths with them. So I think for them to see me vulnerable has been a good experience.
So do you feel closer or further apart?
Closer.
Closer. Anyone have any observations for Kim and her daughters? Anything that you've seen? Any changes of good? So, Kim, when you isolate, how does it make you feel better?
It's a difficult moment for me to be sitting there because my girls are here and I'm really just having a hard time staying present.
Everyone has ways of trying to comfort themselves. It might be just kind of, keeping to yourself, and it might be, curling up in a little ball and just being alone. So I'm just wondering if that's true for you, and how does it make you feel better?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, something to think about. It's really important. One of the things in the Starting Over house that I want all of you to gain is how you process. Once you realize how you process when you're upset, when you're sad,
when you're lonely and really know what you do, you can actually change it. You know, we all do things out of reaction, and a lot of times we do things, you know, like eat ice cream, eat chocolate, not eat. We do certain things, and we use food or we don't use food to make ourselves feel better.
I want to find out what the ladies think about food, how they use food. Do they use it as a crutch? Do they see it as nutrition? Do they see it as entertainment? I want to find out what they think because food is such an integral part of our lives.
So ladies, I would like you to complete the following sentence. Food is my blank.
Energy.
Energy? Mm-hmm. Is that what you said, Summer? Energy. Yeah. Kim?
Just for nutrition. I'm not that big on food.
Okay.
Food is my friend and my worst enemy.
Food is your friend and worst enemy. Towanda?
Food is my nourishment.
What is the one food? You know, the old question, if you're stuck on a desert island, you can only have one food the rest of your life. What food would you choose? Let's go to Summer. What food would you like? One desert island, one food rest of your life.
Steak.
Steak.
Bread.
Bread.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Pasta.
Pasta.
An apple.
An apple.
Well, apples, because it cleans your teeth.
And it's got water in it. Mm-hmm. Okay. You guys are all way back. I would have pizza. If you could give each other advice. Jennifer, if you could give Summer advice, you give Sine advice about food and the way you've watched them eat. What advice would you give each other?
This isn't fair. Sine, don't eat the whole sleeve of cookies. All Sine eats is sweets.
I'm being called out on my junk food habits. It's probably well deserved. I am a self-proclaimed ice cream cookie chocolate-aholic.
Josie doesn't eat. Neither does Towanda. Neither does Kim. Summer, you could snack on something besides Cheetos. But that's the same with all of us. We could all snack on something besides chips.
Yeah, I think it's because it's easy and it's quick. I eat a lot more fresh stuff at home because I go to the store.
Okay, wait a minute, you guys. You guys have opportunities to go to the store. You can go to the grocery store.
I think it's silly to try to go to the store in a cab. I'll go do other things, but I'm not going to go to the store in a cab.
Yeah, so why? So
then you drag all these bags back. I'm just not going to do it. It's not something I do in my real life. I'm uncomfortable with it.
Summer doesn't seem to understand what's at stake for someone who's had gastric bypass surgery. It's not like cheating on a diet.
Food is a way to take care of yourself, and you literally stop yourself in your mind. I don't want to take a cab. That's baloney.
No, it's not. I don't want to spend $20 to go to the store.
Go what? You gotta do. So what you're saying is your health is not worth that $20 for you to take care of yourself.
No.
Instead, right? It's not. Right. But it's worth $25,000.
I figured if you were going to spend that much money on a surgery, you might not eat Cheetos and Fritos by the bag full.
I've had trainers that are like, you have to eat all whole foods. And I tried that. It was ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculously expensive to eat more nutritionally sound. I mean, it sucks.
Okay, but where does
and
Fritos come into all this?
I'm not saying I'm doing that here. That's exactly what I'm saying I'm not doing here.
What I'm hearing is that I don't want to take a cab. It's $20. I don't want to spend the money. And I'm eating Fritos instead.
I think we need to reestablish. I'm eating a lot of other things too. That's what I snack on when we sit and play cards.
Right.
So that's that.
I'm quick to be defensive. I'm still not 100% okay with the idea of me having food issues.
What's your priority with food? Is it a priority in your life? No. Sine says no. Josie says no.
I'm going to say not here, but I'm sure you'll...
It's your choice.
Argue that.
It's not a priority in my life.
It's not a priority. Not a priority. Not a priority.
Summer has undergone a dangerous surgery. She has to face her food issues, she has to exercise, and she has to eat well.
So for me, food is a direct relation to mood. I don't care what anybody says. You talk about somebody's food, you find out what their priorities are, how disciplined they are, and what they really believe about themselves, what their worth is. You ask anybody what they eat every day and why they eat it, you will literally find out what they believe about themselves and what they're worth. Okay? Have a great day. Oh, wait. I forgot something. Tonight we have the board of review, 5:30. Someone may graduate, someone may get kicked out. Be prepared to justify your progress in the starting over house.
Do we dress for this?
Talk to Josie. Okay. She knows the routine.
I'm the new girl, so I'm not really as anxious as some of the other girls because I'm not really thinking it's going to be me that has to go up for review.
I think that the #1 person who needs to be concerned of Board of Review is Kim. I am just praying that I don't have to go up tonight because I do not have anything left.
So they asked, what do you think about Kim and her daughters being here now?
I'm not happy about today's group.
It's very obvious something's wrong with Kim. I really wish that she would let us know what's going on in her head right now.
Not one person said one word, not like anything. Well, we don't care.
I think that was incredibly immature and ridiculous. To at least not even say, yes, there's a problem, no, there's not a problem.
You don't like us? I don't know. I guess I can't make that assumption. Remember?
I can say that being a Virgo, that's what we do.
What, pout?
It's not just pouting, like isolation.
I'm just surprised they're so harsh. That's the only word I can use for it, harsh. It just seems harsh to me.
Shall we go to the state?
I like your C on your purse. My what? I like your C on your bag. Wear it. Bag of courage.
Yay. So today's the day you're gonna go to the doctor.
When you have a gastric bypass, they cut away a pretty large chunk of your intestines and reroute everything so that your body doesn't have the opportunity to absorb all of those calories.
How did you feel about your body when you decided to have your gastric bypass?
I think the hardest thing in making that decision was admitting, because you have to be considered morbidly obese, you have to be 100 pounds or more. And that was probably the hardest thing to admit to.
Yeah, but how did it feel? I mean, knowing it intellectually and feeling it is completely different.
It really did. I mean, it pretty much felt like crap all around, but knowing that I was taking steps, hopefully, to get rid of it, and that when I would be more healthy.
Tell me how you feel about your body right now.
I feel like I've gained weight since I've been here.
Okay.
And I think it's because there's not a scale. There's nothing to tell me. My clothes have been big for a while, so it's not that they're fitting different. They were big.
How much pain have you had over your body?
I probably blame all of it on it, except for deaths, you know, but even if it's not, I mean, that's one of the things I'm kind of realizing is I somewhere back there blame it all on that, whether I
blame it all on your weight.
Did it or not, yeah.
So everything that wasn't working in your life or doesn't work in your life, somehow you put it back on the weight.
Which is what really made me decide to come here.
So patients die from gastric bypass surgery because they haven't taken care of themselves. Is that scary for you to even contemplate?
When you aren't getting your insurance to pay for it and you have to go through the things, you have to say, this is the deal. If I'm going to do this, I have to do all of it. I have to take all of the steps because I'm not going to do this and then go back to the way I was. You have to make a choice. If you're going to put your life on the line, you have to make a choice. Do you want a good life and risk not having one at all? Or do you want to continue the way you are and risk dying unhappy and early?
Tell me the difference between here you are, you never realized before how much of your life revolves around food. And have you had any realizations about how much you actually did eat or how much you actually did drink?
No.
You haven't? Let me give you an example. You know, I recently lost 2 dress sizes. And the hardest thing for me to do that I wouldn't do for months and months and months was to actually keep track of my food. Finally, out of sheer desperation, I started journaling my food. I cannot believe how carbohydrates creep up or how desserts creep up. So me thinking, okay, I'm pretty good, I'm not morbidly obese, and I've got food issues, and I'm eating more than I think I am. Have you not had any of that self-realization?
I don't make good food choices.
Tell me some of your poor food choices.
I like potatoes, baked potatoes, chips and hot sauce.
And I eat fast food. Like, I didn't really eat it before. And now I'll eat it a lot more frequently.
Sommer has undergone a dangerous surgery to give herself the chance to reach her desired weight. But now she has to do the work. She has to face her food issues, she has to exercise, and she has to eat well.
So you had gastric bypass how many months ago?
4.
4 months ago. You've lost how much weight? And you've been here since the starting over house. You're going to find out maybe today at the doctor's. See how much more you've lost since you've been here. So you very well may have lost another 3 to 5 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be more.
Okay, it could be more. Great. You're getting physically healthy because of the gastric bypass. And you're in the starting over house to get emotionally healthy.
Big year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you going horseback riding?
I didn't comb my hair today. I didn't comb my hair. And it's easier just to throw it on because I wash my hair.
Oh, you did? I washed mine too and it frizzed up.
Yeah, so see? And I just bought a hat. That's a cute outfit.
Thank you.
I'm seeing Iyanla, and I am just having this overwhelming feeling and emotion and knowing it's going to be me. That I am going to have to be the one to justify my performance here in the house for the Board of Review.
But how have you enjoyed your visit?
We enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been good.
Good.
We were glad that we could see what she's doing every day instead of like having a fake perception.
Yeah.
As I was.
Your mother is in the midst of an incredible learning process, healing process, and she's been doing really well.
Well, I want just you to look into maybe one little thing.
Okay.
Okay? Just possibility, like
Just
you've
a
asked me.
possibility.
Hi, Iyanla, it's Kim. Can I have a reprieve today? I'll just wear my wedding ring and my watch and a tiny bit of makeup.
You wear that tonight
Yes.
to the restaurant.
Yes.
You asked me if you could wear your stuff to dinner.
Right.
You said a little bit.
Right.
Now, what part of the ring and the watch was the necklace?
I felt like I was being either attacked or maybe used, you're turned against, or, you know, whatever word you choose to use. And this seemed to have happened when my children walked through the door. So I just want you to please look at that.
I have looked at it.
Just take a look at it.
There's a distinction here between what you felt and possibilities. Let's make that distinction. Did you feel attacked, turned on? Okay. And then you're saying to me this happened when your daughters arrived. Your experience was that it happened when your daughters arrived. And nobody's saying that you didn't feel that way.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that it is the filters that make you experience that. For such a long time, Kim has believed that what happens in her world makes her feel a certain way. What I'm explaining to her today is that it's what she thinks and feels that determines what happens in her world. The same experience, if you had different filters, may have come across as abandonment, may have come across as excitement, may have come across as enthusiasm. Your filter helps you define what the experience is. It doesn't mean that you don't have the experience. The filters help you define it.
Hi, Summer. I'm Christina. I'm the nurse practitioner that was great. You want to come with me?
Yes.
So how much weight have you been losing each month?
Close to 20 pounds. Close to 20 pounds a month. Sometimes it's 8. I mean, it varies, because at first, in 11 days, I'd lost 22, and I was like, dear God. You know.
Were you tired?
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, I also was on clear liquid still. I'm just a little anxious about getting on the scale.
Get on.
Okay.
197.7.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that. My weight is just down like half a pound.
This is good. I mean, you're 4 months post-op.
Yeah, but that's not much change. I told them in the house I thought I was gaining weight. 4 months, 76 pounds. But it's funny because I'm just, it's not enough for me.
I'm gonna take you to another room.
Yay, can I leave my stuff here?
Yeah.
All right, great.
I seriously don't think I've seen her eat a well-balanced meal. Has anybody? Well, right, except for when all of us, when I made the meatloaf, she ate a good meal.
I decided.
But she loaded that baked potato up, which was horrible.
I decided it's not my place to stay. I hate to be judgmental, but I feel like if I was in Summer's situation, I would try to eat healthy.
Well, that's why I was like,
if
it's
she
not
wants
my
to spend
responsibility.
25 grand on a surgery and then eat Cheetos for the rest of her life, that's her deal.
Right. That's why I made the comment. It's not my responsibility to make sure everybody eats a well-balanced meal every day.
I figured if you were going to spend that much money on a surgery, you might care about your body.
You might not screw it up.
Right. You might not eat Cheetos and Fritos by the bag full.
Why is it that in the presence of your children, you felt that my challenge was an attack? Why? Have I been attacking you?
No.
Have I been embarrassing you?
No.
Have I been humiliating you publicly?
No.
So why would you translate the same work we've been doing, Kim, all along? Why in the presence of your children does it become an embarrassment, an attack, and humiliation?
I don't know.
Because of the filters.
Okay.
Because for someone to challenge you on your behavior, your spoken word, your intention, that's not an attack.
This is a problem that I do have, and it happens to me all the time. Now, I may have guesses as to why I think it happens, but obviously I'm, not doing it correctly. Like you said, I'm in the field, I'm not doing it correctly or whatever, it's not working, so I'm here.
You felt embarrassed and humiliated and attacked as soon as the question was put on the floor. Minute something bad, ugly, nasty, vicious comes along, you idolize the problem. You have a little altar to badness and wrongness set up in your brain, and you bow down to it every day. And people just come along to worship with you.
Well, I understand now. I mean, I needed you to really clear that up because I was having a very difficult time understanding that.
I want to suggest to you, just an offering, consider.
Okay.
That it is a habit for you to feel attacked, to feel bad, to feel abandoned, rejected. It's a habit.
Wow.
It's a habit. So even when that's not what's going on, that's what you see, that's what you feel, that's what you experience, and there's absolutely no rationale or reason for it. And what we want to do here, in your experience in the Starting Over House, is find A, the cause for that habit, and bless that and send it on its way, and B, give you a new habit. I think yesterday you got caught up in the habit and you found every reason, every way, everywhere to see I'm attacked, see I'm right, see this, see that, see that.
Okay.
From what I'm understanding, your housemates were seeing certain things or offering you feedback.
But, however, I came upstairs and I asked my housemates, is this too much makeup? Does it look okay? Do you think it's toned down? And they said yes. So it feels like that then when I went upstairs, it was a whole different experience.
Well, here's my question.
So,
here's
there
my
you go.
question. If I were a housemate, lowly me, I would ask this question. Why do you have to put on makeup because your daughters are coming?
Welcome to the Board of Review.
We're all a little nervous.
I am scared to death. They look mean and mad.
So let's begin.
Why? Which is the same thing I asked you on the phone. I said, okay, I get the piece about the sweats. You can't go to the restaurant in the sweat. What's the intention with the watch, the ring, and the makeup? I asked you those questions before they landed in California. Why couldn't they see you without makeup?
They do all the time.
Right. So then what was the insistence that you have on makeup?
I don't know why.
Okay, what else?
Well, like yesterday when you told me, you know, that you can wear your makeup, you can wear your clothes, I chose not to because I wasn't clear. Because now I'm afraid to.
Why are you afraid? What's the fear about?
That I just didn't want to do anything wrong.
And if you do it wrong?
Then I'll be thrown to the wolves again.
And if you're thrown to the wolves again?
Then I'll be embarrassed, humiliated. Can't get any worse, I guess.
If you're embarrassed, humiliated, and thrown to the wolves, then what'll happen?
Then that makes me feel worse about myself.
And if you feel worse about yourself, then what?
I don't know.
You got an opportunity yesterday to remove a mask in front of your children. They know that you don't know everything and you can't do everything and you can't fix everything.
And I did that.
Yeah.
That I'm human.
Yeah.
Yeah. And vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I want for you is what you want for yourself, joyful living. That's it. That's where I'm at. I'm there because I know the thinking that got you here is not going to get us there. Do you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Except the whole, do I wear sweats? Do I not? Do I wear makeup? Do I not? I want you to be perfectly clear with me so that I know, because I'm confused about that.
Make a choice.
Hi, Summer. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Dr. Lou, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I've been going over a little bit over your records here, and you've been doing extremely well with your weight loss. I want to get a little bit of a history of what you're eating.
Okay.
What's your typical meal like?
Mostly, I try to eat as much meat or dairy, whatever, I mean, like, basically, I look at the store at what has the most protein.
So what else are you eating? Are you eating any junk food or?
Yeah, I'm sure I am. And I have chips every once in a while.
So those are some of the things that we need to kind of
Protein bars.
tease out some of the chips that are empty calories. Are you eating any potatoes?
Once in a while.
If you could stay away from the carbs.
I get that, but I like them, so I'm gonna eat them.
Even pretzels will be better than potato chips.
But I don't like those. They dry me out.
Summer has a ability to regain her weight if she does not modify her behavior of eating junk food. Other component of this weight loss, in order to help you optimize your weight loss, is to get you to exercise. You will burn off more fat and be much more healthy if you exercise. Everybody will succeed at losing weight with the gastric bypass within the first year or two. The question is, can we use this period after the surgery to modify their behavior? The body can't burn off the fat if Summer continues to eat junk food.
Well, thank you.
All right, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Definitely. I'll
Doing
see you
great.
again.
All right.
So has there ever been like a first border review and somebody got told to go home?
I've never heard of that, no. No, wait a minute. Didn't Rhonda say that somebody may graduate, somebody may be asked to leave? Okay, I guess they can ask you to leave. There's a podium.
I saw the podium.
And it's like right here, so this is the podium. So I would be standing like this, and you guys would be all around the table, and right there at the end would be Iyanla and Rhonda.
Okay.
And they'd say, okay, ladies, this is the board review.
And they call up the first person.
Yes, you should think that it's gonna be you.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what. Even though I highly doubt it's me, I still have myself prepared to the fullest. But I think it actually is a little bit more nerve-wracking and scary this time, because Rhonda and Iyanla don't play around.
So the board of reviews at 5:30. So at the board of reviews, they just said somebody may graduate. Wouldn't that be nice?
No one's completed this.
Josie has two, so she might graduate. So that would be really nice. And then somebody might get kicked out. That's all she said.
We're wrapping up.
Yeah.
What time's the car coming?
What car? Oh, 3:45.
45 in an hour.
I am not ready to see my girls go. It is very difficult for me.
I don't want you guys to leave.
Good
luck with the rest of your stay here.
Saying goodbye to the girls was a little bit hard, and I'm hoping that now that I have supported them, hopefully they'll now be able to understand a little bit more how to help support me as their mother.
Love you too. Bye, Q. Bye.
Love you guys. Take care. Thanks for coming. I'm having an emotional day. It's been very difficult for me, and the last thing in the world I want to do is go to a board of review. I just am praying to God that it's not going to be me who's up tonight.
The board of review is like getting your report card. It's on the nerve-wracking scale of parent-teacher conference and you just got in trouble.
What is wrong with you today?
Nothing. I'm not looking forward to the board of review because I don't want to be reviewed.
I think everybody is nervous about it, so everybody's gathering their thoughts and getting ready to get through this first board of review.
We're all a little nervous.
Bye.
I am scared to death. They look mean and mad. I mean, both of them have, you know, these, I guess, just scary faces on. I'm shocked. So immediately my heart goes into my throat.
Welcome to the Board of Review. The Board of Review is where you get to justify your progress and where we get to evaluate how you're doing. Someone may be asked to leave, someone may graduate. We'll find out soon enough.
So what you received this evening are grades on your progress. A grade of A means that you're progressing along your track, moving up your steps. A grade of B means that you're progressing, but there are some things that you need to work on. And then a grade of C means that you're on probation, that there's some serious work that needs to be done. 2 C's, consecutive C's, you would be asked to leave the starting over house. There's also a grade of F, which means that you would be asked to leave the house immediately.
Wow. So let's begin. Summer? What is your goal?
To lose weight, gain self.
What is one thing you still need to work on?
Oh, defensive.
How does that serve you to be
It
defensive?
doesn't. It protects me. You know, it lets me stay the way that I am.
On a scale of A to F, A being outstanding, F being failure, how would you grade yourself?
I would probably go with B.
Well, one of the things that is so very important for all of you in the house is constructive and positive, honest feedback from your housemates, because this is your environment. So what we're going to do now is go around the room, and we'll begin with Kim.
Well, I'm upset, obviously, because I feel like instead of talking to me about the makeup, you accused me publicly without even talking to me first or asking me or checking it out. And I think instead you told everybody else, you didn't come to me, which was embarrassing and, you know, humiliating.
As far as losing weight, I don't really feel like you're putting much effort into that area.
I agree on the whole weight aspect of it. You've done the extreme now, so it's time to actually work on like the little bits of it that actually makes the difference.
Summer, I think the one thing, or what I'd like to offer you, is to surrender the need to fit in. I think that need keeps you from being authentic. Just be who you are and you will fit in, but surrender the need.
We're going to go around one more time. And why don't you share with us whether Summer should
stay or go?
Oh, I think she should stay, absolutely.
I definitely think she should stay as well.
I think you should definitely stay.
I believe that you should stay.
I too believe you should stay.
What I want you to work on, I'm going to echo what Iyanla and the lady said.
is that you must be willing to let down your guard. That means your weight guard. That means your food guard. That means your resistant guard. You've done the gastric bypass. You did the big thing. You actually have to get the thing that you want to avoid, which is discipline, which is making those small decisions every day and being open no matter what. What do you think about what I've said to you so far?
I think it's all true. Every bit of it.
Are you saying that's people please me?
No.
Are you getting along with the women in the starting over house to people please? Are you showing them any bit of your true self besides in exercises and in group?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me the ways you've shown your true self.
The only thing that's coming to mind is the makeup issue with Kim. This morning I was going through my makeup looking for a certain color, and I couldn't find it. And then I remembered that I'd seen you that one day with what I believe was that eyeshadow. So I just opened up the cabinet to see if your makeup bag was in there, and it was. It was in your bag.
You can do it.
The reason I had to do it in group, and I have to say that because it was the most real thing I've done, it's because I couldn't do it on my own. And I know now that there were other ways I could have done it, and I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Sommer is apologizing to me. I think she's making it up, and I think she's just doing it to justify why she should stay in the house.
And I didn't go to everyone in the house. I did go to Jennifer. And Josie ended up coming in, and I filled her in because I didn't know what to do, and I was scared. But I knew what I needed to do, and it was just a big mess.
How do you feel about the word discipline?
Discipline doesn't bother me as much.
How do you define discipline?
Doing things you don't need to do, or that you need to do even if you don't want to.
That sounds like punishment.
No, it's doing things you need to do. I mean,
how about on a consistently committed basis?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, Sommer, after listening to Iyanla and your housemates, and also you justify your progress in starting over house, I am going to give you a B. Because until you're willing to be honest and truthful about everything, you truly won't start over.
I'm still sitting here thinking, please don't call my name, please don't call my name, please don't call my name. I am not emotionally ready for this. And all of a sudden, Iyanla says,
Towanda. So share with us, Towanda, what is your goal?
My goal is to discover true self.
Towanda, what are you doing well in the starting over house?
The one thing I believe I do well in the house is getting along with everyone in the house.
And what is the one thing you think you still need to work on, Towanda?
I know I need to work on my vulnerability. I feel that for me, when I become vulnerable, it's a sign of weakness.
How do you define weakness? How are you defining weakness?
Weakness in the sense of being hurt, leaving those air pockets open for that to happen if I become vulnerable. When I get to that point of really being vulnerable, that's when I really burst out and cry.
So is crying weakness?
That's what I'm asking.
It's for me, not for anyone else. So
crying is a sign of weakness?
Yes, for me.
And what do you tell yourself about being weak?
That I can't do it.
Okay. So on a scale, Towanda, of A to F, how would you grade yourself?
A B. Now. Before yesterday, I wouldn't have given myself a B.
And what have you done between yesterday and today to earn a B?
Yesterday is when I called and told Iyanla that, you know, I'm sorry. It's not you that I don't trust. It's me that I don't trust.
I blamed you. I blamed it all on you. Like, no, I just don't trust her. It's just something, I just don't trust her. And it's me. I'm the one who I don't trust.
Any moment could be the moment because your goal is discovering your true self. So what have you discovered? And you came in here knowing you didn't trust, knowing that you held everybody's secrets. I don't want to hear that.
I'm a control freak.
How?
I control my feelings. I try to control my feelings completely, even if that means suppressing the way that I really feel. And I believe by trusting you, Iyanla, as my coach, is giving up my control. is just such a huge thing for me because I was honest with myself for the very first time.
Okay. Tell me 3 things that you've done here in the house, Towanda, that have had meaning for you.
Oof. I know it's okay to cry and show emotions.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
What makes it okay today?
Because I'm being so honest, and everyone else around me is too.
Next on Starting Over, Kim fights back.
I am horrified. Do you realize you've accused me of stealing?
I am finally confronting Sommer.
But the damage is done.
You don't even know what happened.
Kim, you don't even care to find out what happened. You just want everybody to believe you.
And Towanda's marriage suffers a serious blow.
This is the lowest that I've ever felt in my life. I just don't have the strength to involve myself anymore. There's no brighter side that I can see.